Oh, hello there. Thank you for watching. So how are you doing today? Yeah, I can't hear you, so I'm going to assume you said great, but let me know in the comments. March 26th, 2240. Philip Hall has won the presidential election. His first goal is expanding our diplomatic relations with other species in the galaxy. April 15th, 2240. Our scientists have developed a ceramic metallic armor, which should provide extra protection against torpedoes. Unfortunately, it is quite costly to produce. July 14th, 2240. Our outpost in the Maval system has detected a small metallic object orbiting the star at an unusually close distance. The presence of this object is intriguing, since the outpost's radar system has been active for a few weeks now, and we have just now detected it. The UMRS Tyson has been dispatched to investigate. August 13th, 2240. The Security Council has ordered 2 new Meteor-class vessels, and the 1st Peacekeeping Division will return to Mars and have their red lasers replaced with the new blue lasers. November 16th, 2240. We have received more and more Estuani refugees, and they have settled on New Berlin and Mars. The only problem is this has made housing an issue, as they can't be built fast enough, and we are running out of places to build them. Our new citizens are also having an extremely hard time finding jobs, so unemployment is on the rise as well. March 3rd, 2241. Captain Jonathan Brown and his team have continued through the caves, and found what they believe was once a colony. The colony appears to have been built here because there was a mineral that they considered extremely valuable underneath. By pumping magma to the surface, they were able to access a nearly inexhaustible energy source. They also used the lava as a defensive system, by using magma traps, as well as a means of disposing of undesirables, as they described them. We found archived images and text describing the traps we encountered by saying, "Watch out," and "Don't touch this," to the lava and lever traps respectively. Interestingly, this appears to be their humor. Another example of this was a tombstone in a burial ground, showing a warrior being impaled by multiple spikes, with the caption reading, "Why didn't you dodge?" Captain Jonathan Brown and his team will continue to investigate what happened to this civilization. June 13th, 2241. President Philip Hall has selected his replacement for the head of the Science Directorate. He selected Captain Theodore Wheeler, and the captain has accepted the position. Wheeler's first task is to identify more planets to colonize, since New Berlin has been a massive success. The UMRS Hawking has been put under the command of Brooklyn Miller, who was Theodore Wheeler's first officer. November 22nd, 2241. The Science Directorate has ordered a new Earhart-class exploratory vessel, and it will be commissioned as the UMRS Kelvin. The Kelvin has been assigned to the Science Academy to be used for training of new recruits. May 21st, 2242.
The 1st Peacekeeping Division was searching the Avani system when they found an abandoned asteroid base that was not there when the system was surveyed. Strangely, our outpost never detected it either, so we sent boarding parties to search and secure the base. The team did report back, and it appears whoever was using the station had just left before the fleet entered the system. We suspect it was used by the same criminals that orchestrated the assassination of President Charlie Gent. Alarmingly, our boarding parties have also found weapons that were taken from our supply hubs, along with a few illegal fusion torpedoes. Unfortunately, the computers we found have all been completely erased or destroyed. These criminals couldn't have gotten far. All outposts are set to high alert.
June 18th, 2242. The UMRS Hawking has found the mummified remains of an individual belonging to an unknown species in high orbit of SOSTA 5A. The alien is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit, complete with helmet and breathing equipment. We believe this person was a fighter pilot, and we have dated the remains, and it has revealed the corpse is a few thousand years old. It appears that the pilot ejected from their vessel while fighting some ancient battle. July 15th, 2242. After years of negotiation, President Philip Hall has secured a free trade agreement with the Workers' Liberated Commune of Boas Cyanid. The agreement will allow public and private companies to operate in both government space as long as all regional laws are followed. President Philip Hall's next goal is to form a mutual research cooperation agreement with the commune to share mutually beneficial technologies. September 18th, 2242. The Science Directorate has conducted a search throughout our space, and there are no other planets that are even remotely close to being colonizable. The Science Directorate has made discovery of more habitable worlds a high priority. October 6th, 2242. We have developed even more resilient armor by adding plasteel, which is an elastic material that combines many qualities of plastic and metal together. And since it is relatively easy to produce, we can use it to augment our vessel's armor. October 24th, 2242. The UMRS Tyson found the object that is orbiting the Maval star. It turned out to be a metal capsule, possibly large enough to house a living being. It seems to be covered in solar panels of an advanced design. Energy readings show that it is consuming an extraordinary amount of power, presumably to keep it in orbit and to protect it from the sun's radiation. When the Tyson locked onto the object and started approaching, it started broadcasting a message.
Danger! Keep your distance!
Captain Scarlet Pratt decides to hail the object to see if it's just a recording or if it's a live message.
I am Azron, the entity in charge of this vessel. I've been charged with the protection of my cargo and the galaxy from it. The present course of your ship puts it unacceptably close to my vessel. Desist from your current course, or I will be forced to take action.
Captain Scarlet Pratt orders the Tyson to hold position, and she contacts Theodore Wheeler, head of the Science Directorate, who orders the Tyson to withdraw from the object. Theodore Wheeler contacts the object, and it refuses to answer any questions, stating that all information is classified. Theodore Wheeler declares the Maval star to be a restricted zone, making it illegal to go anywhere near the star unless given express permission. A warning is also sent to the object, stating that if it ever leaves the orbit of the star, then we would be forced to take action. February 1st, 2243. The UMRS Hawking found a cargo ship floating in orbit of a planet, and they discovered that it has been abandoned and is carrying a large amount of rare metals. The ship design is unknown to us, so we can't return it to its owners, so Captain Brooklyn Miller decides to put a beacon on the ship and have it broadcast openly, so hopefully the owners will find it. If nobody claims the ship within a reasonable amount of time, we will claim it and take it back to Mars to be salvaged. April 16th, 2243.
The 1st Peacekeeping Division has found another asteroid base in the Aslan system. Fortunately, this base was still being used and our boarding parties captured 5 of the people operating the base. The others managed to evade us and escape though. The prisoners are currently being transported back to Mars for interrogation. Stand by.
October 3rd, 2243. The Divine Oned Quark Commonality still has its fleets stationed right on our border. President Philip Hall has decided to build a full station in the Pica system to hopefully dissuade the Oned from invading. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has also been ordered to conduct a training exercise in the Pica system as well. Philip Hall has also seen that our planetary security forces have been lackluster, to say the least, so he has petitioned the members of Congress to disband the security forces and sanction a new force under the military. Philip Hall's proposed plan would make a new civilian security force that protects and enforces laws locally, and a military force that has the same main goal but has jurisdiction everywhere. This new military force would also be under civilian oversight so that there should be no abuse of power. After multiple lengthy debates, Congress has disbanded our planetary security forces and formed a new branch of the military called the Planetary Guard, which is under the command of the Security Council. Training facilities are being set up on Mars and New Berlin. The new training program is extremely rigorous as dictated by Congress, since they are going to be interacting with civilians. 4 guard battalions have been funded by Congress, so there shall be 2 on Mars and 2 on New Berlin. January 5th, 2244. We have received word that the Ixodar Star Collective has achieved what was once believed to be impossible. They claim to be able to manipulate time itself. The Science Directorate has made it clear that time travel is still impossible, but the Ixodar have developed temporal shields. These shields maintain a bubble in space-time, so when a weapon is fired at a vessel with these shields, they miss because the projectile or burst of energy is suspended in time for a millisecond or two, which is just enough to throw off all targeting sensors. February 8th, 2244. We have developed electroplasma system relays. As our ship systems require more and more power, we need a more robust way of diverting power to critical systems. These EPS relays allow almost instantaneous power transfer from one side of the vessel to the other. February 27th, 2245.
We have finally gained valuable intel from the prisoners we captured. They say they are part of an organization called the One True Planet. The prisoners have claimed responsibility for the hacking of our database and the assassination of the former president Charlie Gent. Alarmingly, they claim the president was a threat. This caught our attention, but even with a little persuasion, they didn't say why he was a threat. However, they did slip up, and we have discovered that they have a base on a planet near New Berlin. The 1st Peacekeeping Division has been diverted from their training exercises to start searching for all planets near New Berlin.
August 6th, 2245. The Martian Science Directorate has designed an anti-corvette destroyer and a new experimental weapon for it, called a plasma launcher. A prototype directed energy cannon. It shoots projectiles made out of plasma, but it is remarkably unstable and low yield, so the weapon has to be quite large in order to be useful. The Security Council has ordered 2 vessels of the class. The Spitfire class was designed in the mid-2240s to be an anti-corvette destroyer. The class is named after the famous Earth aircraft, the Supermarine Spitfire. At a length of 225 meters and a width of 150 meters, it has a crew complement of 70 spread across 15 decks. The class is armed with 1 medium plasma launcher, 1 mass driver turret, 1 blue laser turret, and 1 spatial torpedo launcher. The class has quad Type 2 shield generators and moderate plasteel armor. The class is equipped with a fusion reactor, advanced radar system, and ion thrusters. December 11th, 2245. President Philip Hall has signed a mutual defense treaty with the Liberated Commune, meaning if an empire declares war on one of us, the other will be obligated to help. Unfortunately, the president does not have the ability to declare war, so if someone declared war on the Liberated Commune, Congress would still have to agree to declare war. January 12th, 2246. The UMRS Hawking found an extremely large asteroid and started to investigate. There was a large cavern inside, but the Hawking started detecting energy buildups, but couldn't find the source. Then, the Hawking was hit out of nowhere with a mass driver round, decompressing multiple sections of the vessel. 2 ships emerged from the cavern and continued firing. The Hawking's automatic defense protocols activated, and the shields were raised, as well as the hyperdrive began charging. After multiple direct hits to the shields, they started failing. But the Hawking is remarkably faster than the pirates, and the hyperdrive was fully charged before the shields were completely destroyed. There were 2 officers in the sections that were decompressed, and they have been declared killed in action. June 1st, 2246. Our food production over the last few months has been less than our overall need, meaning we have a food deficit and are running low on food reserves. President Philip Hall has started a campaign to build more farms and food production facilities, as well as incentivizing citizens to grow their own food at home. July 26, 2246. The Science Directorate has promoted its first non-human captain. Captain Tik Dumak is an Estwani who settled on New Berlin with his family after escaping the Tendrakian hive. Captain Dumak has been put in command of the training vessel the UMRS Kelvin. August 1st, 2247.
The 1st Peacekeeping Division has found the base on the One True Planet on Gotha 4A. The fleet did immediately hide themselves by turning off all non-essential systems, so boarding parties are assembled and are ready to raid the base. Update. The boarding parties have landed a few clicks east from the base and they are going to proceed on foot to avoid detection. The team are to set weapons to stun unless the members of this organisation use deadly force, in which case it's a safeties off policy, and that is an order. Outstanding! The raid was successful and we captured many members of the organisation. Sadly, we did lose 17 officers in the firefight, but fortune favours the brave. The computers recovered are heavily encrypted and it will take time to break the encryption. Some of the members we captured started bragging, saying that we were too late to stop what's coming, but they wouldn't say more. All prisoners are being transported to Mars for further interrogation, and a little more persuasion could net us better results.
November 4th, 2247. Our scientists have developed a variable yield torpedo that uses a small amount of antimatter. Through the use of magnetic isolation fields, we can store the antimatter in the warhead. These torpedoes have been named photonic torpedoes. Some experts in the field have raised their concerns about Congress's decision to not label this weapon as a weapon of mass destruction, since it can do more damage than multiple fusion torpedoes. January 6th, 2248. The liberated commune has invented a terrifying superintelligence. It has been speculated that the superintelligence could outthink the entire galaxy, even if every single mind was working in unison. Thanks to our research cooperation agreement with the liberated commune, they have allowed us a much closer look than others, and our scientists are excited to start research on our own advanced artificial intelligence. November 8th, 2248. Mars has completely run out of space to build more houses. The current solution is to tear down old buildings and replace them with newer and more cramped apartments. The second solution is giving people incentives to move to New Berlin, but most people don't want to leave Mars and their families. July 1st, 2249. The UMRS Hawking has been investigating a large skeleton that was found on Jamar 1A many years ago. Captain Brooklyn Miller has concluded that the creature served as some kind of organic starship. Much smaller bones from 3 different species were found inside the larger skeleton, and we presume that they acted as the crew. For unknown reasons, the living ship suffered damage and crash-landed on this planet. July 28th, 2249. The Security Council reports that spies in the Oned-Quark commonality have confirmed that the Oned are preparing to declare war on us within the next 3 years. Some members of the Security Council remain skeptical about the reliability of the intel we're receiving. August 6th, 2249. Researchers have been able to reliably perform fusion in relatively low temperatures, making our fusion reactors almost twice as efficient, since we should not have to use some of the power generated to produce heat that was required for the fusion process. December 21st, 2249. New Berlin has reported drastically increased levels of crime in the past month. At first, it seemed to be completely random crimes, but upon closer inspection, we discovered that the crimes seemed to be orchestrated, with the purpose of distracting civilian law enforcement, while not drawing the attention of the Planetary Guard. Further investigation is required to understand why. January 1st, 2250. The presidential election has started. There are 2 main candidates, incumbent Philip Hall and head of the Science Directorate Theodore Wheeler. Voting will begin on March 26th, and the winner will become president on April 1st. January 1st, 2250. New Berlin has reported communication problems with Mars, but according to all systems on Mars, all systems are operating optimally. Mars attempted to contact the Beryllian starbase to verify, but there was no response. Ever since the first Martian outposts were built, they have been equipped with an extremely powerful signal transmitter that is completely independent and has multiple backups in the event that some parts fail. The original use for this transmitter was to verify the base was still there, even through severe interference. but it is now used as an all-clear signal, since there are only 2 ways to deactivate the signal: manually by the station's commander, or via the station being completely destroyed. Meaning if an all-clear signal goes offline, alarms are raised everywhere, and the absolute worst is assumed. So when the Beryllian Starbase's all-clear signal goes offline, President Philip Hall orders the 1st Peacekeeping Division away from the Onan border to assist the Starbase and New Berlin. Special thanks to Cornish Ratbeard and Chris for lending their voices this episode. Don't forget to check out our Discord, which is full of amazing people and other spectacular content creators. There's also a Patreon where patrons can vote on decisions and laws in the current playthrough, essentially making you part of the Martian Congress. Links to all these are in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day.
Live long and prosper.